from Memphis, Tennessee. I'm not original Memphian. I was born in England, raised in Korea. I served in the Air Force in Japan. My father was Air Force. My grandfather was Air Force. We're just military guys. Like you guys, I started in the Tea Party movement in 2009 in Memphis. We were at a Tea Party rally, if you guys remember. It's the Tax Day Tea Party, right? For me, it was a president who was a Republican in October of 2008 with a $700 billion check to fix problems that they had created by previous generations or administrations or whatever. Having a background in finance, like you guys, if you don't pay your bills, what happens? You're bankrupt. Well, they come get you. The first thing they do is they lower your credit report, right? Credit score. Second thing is they come and they try to take stuff, right? But you're held accountable to it. So this is a major problem from my perspective as a citizen who's a part of a republic, and the government is bailing out its own mistakes off of your backs. And then a Democrat president does the same thing in February of 2009, just 4.5 months later. Now, from a military strategy, and those any veterans here? Thank you. From a military strategy, think about that. If opponents are playing on the same battlefield, don't they have different strategies to beat each other? Then why did they do the same thing? That's what got me engaged. There's a massive problem in this country with regards to political interests that are controlling instituted government, making the same battlefield strategy choices in concert with each other. That's a problem, guys. When you have two opposing sides, they have two different strategies to defeat each other. It's the same move. Now, 5 years now, right? We've seen same moves, right? All right, so all of you are nodding your head. That's been very difficult for us to articulate. Why? Because we are pieces on a battlefield. We are not chess players. We are the chess pieces being moved by the various issues and the candidates. And so it's very difficult for folks like us, Tea Partiers, right? Racist, redneck, astroturfing, shameful, despicable, un-American, right-wing, clinging to our religion and our Bibles, right? You know, all of the things that are... Did I miss something? Guns,
cold dead hands.
Right?
Hate monitors.
White, racist, supremacist, all this other junk, which is the furthest from the truth. Okay? But then again, if you make that argument, then you are what your argument says you aren't. It's weird in America. Yes means no, no means yes. You try to say one thing and they make it look like another thing. You guys are struggling against the establishment with thinking that the political interests, the special interests, that where you get to go control instituted government by taking it over, right? So now there's this entire internal struggle within that political interest. So the other side, right, counsels the other chess player, says you need to get a hold of your base. Those are that's chess player language. So you're the citizens trying to participate in a chess game, and most of the time, and I'm with you on this because I'm Mid-South Tea Party since May of 2009, a statewide coalition. You guys have the Tea Party Federation since 2010. And we began to wonder, how do we become effective as activists? Right? You guys are active, right? Anybody here not active? Don't admit it. Right? You do stuff. You're trying to do stuff, right? Bills, county, school, city, well, in this case, county. What about regional government? I just got this look. Mike. What about state government? Now everyone's like, oh, yeah, I know what that is. What about your federal delegation? Oh, wait a minute, you've been involved with that for this election cycle. Got some chuckles. We're trying to be active, doing everything we can to do what?
Change.
Hope and change?
Hope and change really are.
What's that?
No change.
No change. So you become the party of no. The party of no change. What is it? What are you trying to accomplish?
Get the government to follow the founding principles.
Government to follow the founding principles? What else?
Limited government, individual responsibility, free market.
Okay.
That's all we need. Just give us those and we're moving.
We want to educate others as well.
Educate others? All right, so what I want to do is I want to convince you as best as I can, under the situation you're living in, that training will enhance your current activism. Now, there are all kinds of training out there. Leadership Institute has a training. They'll teach you for what? Campaign management school, right? They'll teach you how to support a candidate. There's other training in Constitution. How many of you all have taken Constitution training? Okay. I have taken 14 different organizations training on the Constitution. I'm done. I'm just saying. All right?
You got that?
I got it.
Got it. Okay.
All right? I've taken it from a secular perspective, from a Christian perspective. Right? I've taken it from the liberal perspective and the conservative perspective. I've taken it from a Mormon perspective, from a ecumenical Christian perspective. I've tried to take it from as many freaking perspectives as I can. Okay? Why? Because what the gentleman just said, if we have X, Y, and Z, then on the equal sign will be whatever it is you think it is. Right? But something I discovered is that I know a lot about the Constitution. But how do I keep it? So every legislative cycle, whether it's the school board or the state legislature or even the federal legislature, we try to interface with the elected officials and, oh, great legislator, please hear my plea. Would you please humbly receive my policy and fight on my behalf? We come from those nonverbals as the subject to government. That requires training. Why? Because when you read exactly what it is you were given, they're dead. And that's what the left will say. Look, those guys are dead. Right? And so are their words. Right? But actually the principles remain, but those principles are lost, not because of the legislator, because of who?
Us.
We the pieces. It's no longer we the people. It's we the pieces. We have been trained in the nonverbal communication of, please hear my plea, or when we get pissed. There, do what I say. Pop you in the nose, right? And so then what happens? Inside, it's a cycle. It's a vicious cycle. The legislators, who are representation of who?
Us.
Guess what, guys? We're looking in the mirror. All right, so I want to go through some things mainly to show you our assumptions do not match the founders. That requires just a slight, like on a vehicle. You've got this beautiful car, and you're driving, and it's kind of, something's not right. You just need to open the hood and tweak a little bit so it'll hum, right, smooth. Everybody knows what I'm talking about.
Maybe you got a lemon.
What's that?
Or maybe you got a lemon.
Uh-oh. Might need to replace it. All right. Do we need to replace our government? Think about the answer to that question. You guys replaced an elected official with someone else. So we don't know what the outcome will be yet, right? Well, what about on the back side of this where the pieces are located? Do the people, or are the people being trained to lose their government? So, the Declaration of Independence is the vision statement for the United States of America. It's the vision for overthrowing a monarchy and replacing it with a new form of government. So they had a war, killed each other, we won, and then they instituted a new form of government. What form did they institute? Now listen, I want to make sure we caveat. The founders are dead. All we have are words. They're gone. They can't be here, blah, 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 blah. Dust to dust, right? We've got words. What form did they institute?
A
Articles of
representative
Confederation.
republic.
Hold on, two people. What? Go ahead.
A
You-
representative republic.
Republic. Article of Confederation.
Article of Confederation, a republic.
A Republican form of government.
Okay. This document is the vision statement. It's the justification for overthrowing a monarchy to replace it with a new form of government. That new form of government has these principles embedded in it. The principles in the Declaration of Independence are embedded in Virginia's Constitution. Did you know that? Article 1, Section 1. What does it say? Article 1, Section 2. What does it say? They're just words. They're dead, right? Thomas Jefferson, who is the architect of the Declaration of Independence.
The legislature.
No, that's Article 4. Article 1 has to do with the principles in this document. Thomas Jefferson wrote the preamble, the first section of your Constitution. He wrote the Declaration of Independence, and then in July, your state, George Mason, right, he instituted his Constitution. It was adopted by your legislature, and that became your Virginia Constitution, which has been amended numerous times. I'm going to use that in a second. All right? Thomas Jefferson sent his copy over, but it was too late. However, they loved his preamble, and they added it into your Constitution. So everything that because he just wrote this a month earlier. So now all of these principles that you talked about, they're embedded in where? Not in the U.S. Constitution. In all 57 state constitutions. In fact, I mean, no, it's a fact. It's a fact. I have them all except yours, apparently, tonight. Okay? From Texas to California, New Jersey to Florida. All of the principles in this document, the vision statement of the United States, in some fashion of wording, are embedded in the state constitutions. So, you have things like, when in the course of human events it becomes necessary for how many people?
The people.
How many? To dissolve the political bands which have connected them with another. How many people?
One.
No, it's not all of them.
One.
When in the course of human events it becomes necessary for one people. Remember, I said we're now we the pieces. Okay? So the vision statement is one people. Second statement is, and to assume among the powers of the earth, a separate and equal station to which the laws of nature and of nature's God entitle who? The one people. Not the people, the one people. Who's one? It depends on the political band. It depends on the political bands that connect you. Are you connected to the one people of Virginia? Are they one people?
Is that one person or a people?
One people.
Okay.
I'm just,
So it's a
their words, not mine, right? So who are the one people? It depends on the political bands. So the political bands, appreciate it. Section 1 is about equality and rights of man. So the first section of Article 1, while it pulls up, there we go, that all men are by nature to assume among the powers of the earth the separate and equal station to which the laws of nature are by nature equally free and independent, to which the laws of nature and of nature's God entitle them, and have certain inherent rights of which, when they enter into a state of society, they cannot, by any compact, political bands, deprive or divest their posterity, the future, namely the enjoyment of what?
Life and liberty.
And?
Pursuit of property.
Pursuit, that is Thomas Jefferson's words, okay?
Means of equality.
And what?
Property.
Attaining happiness and safety, possessing property, and pursuit and attaining happiness and safety.
And pursuing and obtaining happiness and safety. So the second paragraph says, We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. I sound like I'm reading the Virginia Constitution, Article 1, Section 1, the very first sentence. Just saying. Okay? So now you have Section 2, which is the second half of the first paragraph of the Declaration of Independence. That all power. How much is all power?
All.
What's that?
Total.
Total? Question, how much power does government have?
All we
All
give.
too much.
Which government? Only what you give. Only what we allow.
Okay, so the very second section says that all power is vested in and consequently derived from
The people.
how many?
One.
Of Virginia. Okay? The one people of Virginia. That magistrates are their trustees and servants. Who are the magistrates? Just say it. That the magistrates are their trustees and servants, and at all times amenable to who?
The people.
How many?
The one.
Of Virginia. Section 3. That government is or ought to be instituted. Where does that come from? Declaration of Independence, third sentence. Right? To secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their what? From where? No.
Consent of the
From the consent of the governed. Anyway, I hope you understand what I'm saying is the vision statement is in Article 1, Section 1, 2, and 3 of whose political bands? Not mine, I'm from Tennessee. In yours, the one people of Virginia. So now I'm going to say the vision statement is embedded in your Constitution, and are you connected to Tennessee? What are the political bands that connect you to my state?
The U.S. Constitution.
The U.S. Constitution.
Okay, so what form of government do we have to manifest the vision statement that's embedded in your Constitution? And by the way, mine from Tennessee.
Republican form.
Okay, it's in the U.S., it's specifically in the U.S. Constitution, Article 4, Section 4. The United States shall guarantee, if I had your Constitution, pretend. The United States shall guarantee to every state in this union, political bands, which have connected them with another, a what form of government?
Republican.
A Republican form of government. Okay? So before we even define what that is, now we know the vision statement is embedded in your Constitution, and the U.S. Constitution, which connects the one people of Virginia to my state, the United States shall guarantee to every state in this union a Republican form of government. Let's not even define what that is yet. Let's just go and find out what the other states guarantee to each other regarding a Republican form of government. And then we'll define it. How about that? So this is Idaho. Are you connected to Idaho? What are the political bands that connect you to Idaho? The U.S. Constitution. The United States shall guarantee to every state in this union a what form of government?
Republican form of government.
I hope you get this, because today, aren't you taught that the word democracy and republic are interchangeable? Actually, this is inaccurate. Why? Let's go to the Idaho Constitution. This isn't your political bands. Whoops, it's falling apart. Literally. So this is Article 9, Section 1 of their Constitution, not yours. This is their guarantee to you to keep a Republican form of government.
When was the Virginia Constitution?
1895.
1895, Virginia?
No, oh, Virginia? Oh, no, yours was 1776 in July.
Okay, and then ours was in
Modified multiple times.
75,
Where are you?
1787 or whatever it was. The U.S. Constitution.
1787, that's correct.
1787.
Your
So
Constitution came
there was a
before
difference of a lot of years between those two documents.
11.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of consternation in those years.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Well, there was a lot of,
Learning.
well, blows, actually.
Yeah. Absolutely. That's the way you learn.
Whew, I don't know. Anybody ever seen anybody shot before? Yeah, it's an awesome experience, right? No, it's a seriously damning experience. It's not worth, it's something on the table, but I highly encourage you to do everything at all costs to avoid it. With 313 million times about 30,000 different types of cultures, nightmare. All right?
What do you want me here?
Article 9, Section 1 of Idaho's political bans.
Okay.
Section 1. She's going to read slow. Listen carefully because they're just words and they're all dead.
Legislature to establish system of free schools.
Okay, so now the very first title under this article, which we'll tell you what it is in just a second, it says
Education and school lands.
Education and School Lands.
Okay, section 1. The stability of a Republican form of government.
Okay, so Article 9, Section 1, Education and School Lands, the stability of a Republican form of government. So what's the stability of this building based on?
Foundation.
Uh-oh.
Depending mainly upon the intelligence of the people.
Okay,
It shall
wait,
That's
wait,
our
wait,
problem.
that's good. All right,
Fooled you, didn't I?
okay. So in Idaho, the purpose of education is not for public education's sake. What's the purpose of education in Idaho? The stability of a Republican form of government. So the purpose of education in Virginia is for what? So that everybody can have a fair and equal education, because that's their right. Well, in Idaho, in their political bans that connect them, the stability of the Republican form of government depends on it. Texas. Anybody from Texas? Have relatives in it? Nobody up front? All right, how about you, sir, if you don't mind? This is Article 1, Section 2 of Texas Constitution.
All political power is inherent in the people.
Time out. Doesn't that sound like your Constitution? All, how much is all? Political power is inherent in the people of the one state of Texas. Keep going.
And all free governments
I'll
are founded in their authority and instituted for their benefit.
Sounds like the Declaration of Independence, doesn't it? Now listen.
The faith of the people of Texas stands pledged to the preservation of the republic form of government.
That's good. Thank you. So the faith of the people of Texas stands pledged to what? No, a preservation of a Republican form of government. In other words, that requires action to preserve. Right? How many of you think, man, where is everybody? So then our first thought is it takes a majority to prevail. This is a mistake. It takes a tireless minority keen on setting brush fires of freedom where? And who are the men? The one people. Okay? So I'm just using their words. This isn't our philosophy. This is the people who are dead, who created a Republican form of government. They're gone 238 plus years now, right? So now we're in this situation today. Do you have the sense that you're losing the republic? Okay, so what we've designed is a training program for citizens who want to keep the republic. For those of you who are active, this is to enhance your activism, not to give you new activism. You're already active. George Washington said in his first inaugural address, pardon me, he said, "The preservation of the sacred fire of liberty and the destiny of the Republican model of government are staked on an experiment." This is the first president of the United States. What are we at, like 57?
No, that's states.
That's
States, my bad. I forgot my teleprompter. The preservation of the sacred fire of liberty. What is that? Remember, the faith of the people of Texas stands pledged to the preservation of a republican form of government. Now, the President of the United States, this ethereal language, we just don't talk this way. Lord, come on. Right? You guys are so out of touch with forward thinking.
Well, he did that was like 300 years ago, right?
Yeah, you're dead, man. Come on. But you live in the present, dude. That's hope and change for the future.
When did Texas come in? How many years now?
The 1830s.
1830s?
Mhm.
Okay.
And remember, it was
So
Tennessee that
48,
saved the
40
Republic
years.
of Texas, by the way. All right, so here it is, Tennessee again, trying to save the Republic. That is weird like that. The preservation of the sacred fire of liberty. What is that? Where is it? Can somebody run to Ulta or Bed Bath & Beyond and grab us a Sacred Fire of Liberty candle? Maybe we could whiff it. Get some Sacred Fire of Liberty in my lungs. And the destiny of the Republican model of government. This has to do with the future. Well, here we are in the future, guys. So the preservation of this ooey-gooey, ethereal, dead language, Sacred Fire of Liberty, and the destiny of the Republican model of government are staked. What does the word staked mean? Planted? Anchored?
Rooted.
On an experiment? I don't know about you, but that kind of makes me nervous. On an experiment entrusted to the hands of the American people. This has nothing to do with who you get elected. According to the people who are dead. According to the political bands, which were created long before we were born. With the principles of the vision statement of every single state constitution in existence today. But then again, they're just words, out of date, and they have no meaning. Why? I can prove it. You ask the question yourselves. Where are they? Who's they? The one people of Virginia. The solution to keeping your republic is only one half of the equation in removing Eric Cantor, for example. Or overthrowing the entire government of Goochland County, for example. The solution is in a little-known woman named Elizabeth Powell. Have you ever heard of her? CSG students have. They're all like, yeah.
What's your last name?
Powell. P-O-W-E-L. She's not a P-O-W. Right? Because she's deceased now. All right? Elizabeth Willing Powell. So on September 17th, 1787, the day the U.S. Constitution was signed by people like George Washington, right? People like Ben Franklin. We know these names. Of course, they're dead, right? And their words have no meaning today, right? If they had meaning, the sacred fire of liberty would be preserved, and the destiny of the Republican model of government would be staked where? On the experiment entrusted into whose hands? The one people of Virginia. All right? So now this is Elizabeth Powell. She's waiting in the evening, 1787, for them to come out. Ben Franklin has got gout. He's being carried out. And she approaches him and she says, "So doctor, what have you given us?" Who's us?
People.
Of Pennsylvania. What have you given us? What did he respond?
If you keep it.
A republic if you can keep it. It's a paradox. One people, you. So, how much self-determination do you have to control your instituted government, the Republican form of government that was given to you? Not a democratic form of government. It's not an oligarchical form of government. It is a Republican form of government. So now maybe we can talk about what that actually means. And for that, you have to come to the training. No, I'm just kidding. Our training program is designed to take you from that to Mrs. Powell, who on November of 1792 wrote a letter directly to George Washington the day before he was going to announce that he was not going to run for a second term of office, in which she said to him, "George, the anti-federalist will seize on your abdication as a clear indicator that the Constitution is defunct." Elizabeth. So the next day, President of the United States said, I'm running for a second term of office. So how many of you have had that kind of success with Representative Cantor? Or Governor McAuliffe? Or, right? And we could do the or, right? In terms of controlling your instituted government, whose responsibility is it? We have a training program that's designed to take non-activists and activists to focus their energy as the one people within the political subdivision that I'm standing in now to become effective chess players rather than effective chess pieces. In your relationship to your school board, who's in control of whom?
The school board's.
Whose responsibility is it to control it? Not the legislators, it. Remember, in the Declaration, the vision statement is that government is not an organic being like Frankenstein. It's an inorganic institution that you elect delegated authority to do what? To go in and control light switches. Yes? No? Isn't that what you want them to do? I want you to go in there and vote. Yes or no? I don't want you to get up and walk out because the vote's going to hurt you in your next election. No. Yes? No? Or abstain. But at least press one of the three freaking buttons. Right? What do we want? We want delegated authority that is representative, not democratic. So the representation we have today is of a beast that has gained organic status. I wish I had my Virginia Constitution.
I have it on my iPad if you want it.
May I? I need to read you something.
I'll get it. Is it in your big suitcase?
I'll read it from here. It's okay. I appreciate it. It's my fault for not bringing it. Thank you, ma'am. All right? So it goes through your Constitution. It says Article 3, Article 2 is about suffrage and officers. Article 3 is about the division of power between the departments, like this room and that room, right? This institution derives its power from where? A power company. Where did the power company get its power from? Laws of nature and of nature's God, right? So where is all the power located? Where's all the power located in Virginia?
With one people of Virginia.
It's inherent in the people. Okay? Article 4 is your legislature. Article 5, executive. Article 6, judiciary. But then we get to a little freaky article called Article 7. Modified severely in 1971. Article 7, Section 1. Oh, I've got to scroll. Hold on a second. Gosh, I need to get one of these. Hey, wait, can we share the wealth? I'm just kidding.
Only give a power outlet.
Article 7, Section 1. County means any existing county or any such unit hereafter created. 2, city means an independent incorporated community which became a city as provided by law before noon on the first day of July 1971, which has defined boundaries, blah, 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 just words. Town means any existing town or incorporated community within one or more counties, blah, 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 just some more words. 4, ready? If anybody needs to use the restroom, you might want to do it now. Regional government means a unit of general government. Those are just words. Don't pay attention. Nothing to look at here. Organized as provided by law within defined boundaries as determined by the General Assembly. 5, general law means a law on which the effective date applies alike to all counties, cities, towns, or regional governments, or to a reasonable classification thereof. Oof, I know what that means. 6, special act means a law applicable to a county, city, town, or regional government. The enactment shall require an affirmative vote of 2/3 of the members elected to each house of the General Assembly. Section 2. Whew. The General Assembly shall provide by general law for the organization, government powers, change of boundaries, consolidation, and dissolution of counties, cities, towns, and regional governments. The General Assembly may also provide by general law optional plans of government for counties, cities, or towns, not including regional governments, effective if approved by a majority vote of the qualified voters. Interesting, just words, nothing to pay attention to. The General Assembly may also provide by special act. Remember what a special act is? Remember what a general law is? Come back to the training program. We will train you to become chess players, not chess pieces, being moved by every whim of the chess players who now control the battlefield that you are resting on. The General Assembly may provide by special act for the organization, government powers of any city, county, town, or regional government, including, ready? Such powers of legislation, taxation, and assessment as the General Assembly may determine. But no such special act shall be adopted which provides for the extension or contractions of boundaries of any county, city, or town to the exclusion of regional governments. Just words, don't worry about it, it's okay. Every law providing for the organization of a regional government shall, in addition to any other requirements imposed by the GA, require the approval of the organization of the regional government by a majority vote of the qualified voters voting thereon in each county and city. Blah, 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 just words. Here's the kicker. Article 7, Section 3, power. Remember when we talked about power? Where's all the power? Okay, you might want to pay attention. The GA may provide by general law or special act that any county, city, town, or other unit of government. What does that mean? May exercise any of its powers or perform any of its functions and may participate in the financing thereof jointly or in cooperation with the Commonwealth or any other unit of government within the Commonwealth. You ready for this? And outside of the Commonwealth. There is I know this sounds a little bit serious and there's a lot of words here and it's hard to compute and calculate because there's so many words, right? Just words. So the people today, the pieces, do they have time for that? I don't have time for this. All these words. I'm exhausted already. Can somebody give me a latte? Can I pull up a movie or something?
Constitution for Dummies is on the second page.
So think about this. There's a lot. Because in Title 15.2 of your Code of Virginia is where all of this is located. The authority is here. In level 3 is what we'll teach you about authority. The disease, if you will, is located in Title 15.2. But it's just a rabbit hole. And people don't have time anymore. I hear it all the time. I don't have time. Right? Our training program is 40 hours. That's 0.001% of your entire year. It's nothing. If you live to 78, ladies, 72, guys, that's 0.16001% of your life. 40 hours. Each class, well, I call them trainings, are 8 hours. Level 1, we're going to deal with all of your assumptions about government. And actually show you, till the soil of your mind, to plant a seed that your assumptions do not match the people who are dead. They're gone. The principles are like a seed, like a sequoia tree seed. Have you ever seen a sequoia tree seed? It's the smallest seed of a tree on earth. Okay? But it is the longest, it is the oldest tree, and it is the biggest tree. Well, the redwood forest, you know, plus or minus 100 feet. Anyway, I encourage you guys, even if you don't take our training program, at least read Article 7. Okay, 1944, this was given to me by Lisa back there in the room. This is Liberty Magazine. So So you think that healthcare is new? You think this struggle is brand new? Like you're going through something new? Gosh, we're going through something new. No. This is page 15. Compulsory national health insurance is the most revolutionary feature of the new Social Security bill written by Senator James Murray and Robert Wagner and Representative John Dingell.
1944. He's still in Congress.
Well, I know that the founders aren't living. Anyway, so we're not going through anything new. We're going through something that is age-old. Sorry. A second here. All right.
Let me do that.
It's okay. All right, so this is curriculum from Tennessee, 3rd grade, Tennessee, social studies. Why do you need training? It's because of this.
Yeah.
This is a Republican governor, a Republican Senate, a Republican House, a Republican Board of Education, and all the way down the line. But to the children, what are they being taught?
Our country is a democracy.
Okay? But I just read to you, wait a second, in the founding documents, but they're dead, right? Those words don't have any meaning. We have a living Constitution. It's changing. It's progressive. It's forward thinking, right? But you just teach the young people. So you might say, well, wait a second. We need to change the education system. Well, hold on. The purpose of education in Idaho is the stability of a Republican form of government. So if I go to the index where the Pledge of Allegiance is, you guys remember doing that a little while ago? It's a pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. Oh, where is one? Oh, there you are. And to the
Republic.
Okay? So, how do you change the young people's minds? It's all words, guys. And those are so tedious. I'm already exhausted. Aren't you exhausted now? You're like, God, this guy, shut up. All right? The Pledge of Allegiance. Can you read from when to the end?
When we pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States, we promise to be loyal citizens of this country.
And what kind of country do we have, children?
A democracy.
A democracy. Get it right. Go to see the principal. Okay? I feel threatened by you. And then, of course, the pledge is in Spanish.
Oh.
But then you might say it's just the kids. Oh, the poor kids. We need to replace all of the teachers. We need to replace the school board and the superintendent. Let's have a revolution. This is Idaho. Remember what the stability of the Republican form of government depends on? The intelligence of the people, right? So here I'm talking about children, but this is what a Republican congressman is handing out to his constituents, which are part of the what of Idaho? The one people. So this is what he's handing them. So it's not kids. What does it say in red?
Questions and answers about representative democracy.
Listen, they're interchangeable. Listen, we're on the same page here, okay? We just need to agree on 80% of the stuff. Very first page, I turn it open, and what is a Republican congressman handing to the one people of Idaho?
Democracy.
The definition of which it says, listen, get ready, your ears are going to feel pretty good. They're just words. Ready? You're going to feel good.
I doubt it.
Oh, you're going to feel great. They're just words. Guys, vote for me. Why? Because I'm going to take care of your health care. Put me into office and I'll make sure you get to keep your guns. Hey, you back there, you know what I'm going to do for you? Make sure your veterans' benefits are secure. Do I have your support? Thanks, guys. I got to go. All right? Listen to what it says, because they're just words. Government by the people. A form of government. Now, go back to Article 4, Section 4. What form of government do you have?
A Republican form of government.
Now, we need to have a serious debate. What is the difference here? Why is there a fundamental change in the use of the word? Well, that takes some understanding. Where? In the intelligence of who? The legislators? Who changed those words? Why did they change them? Interesting question.
What date is that now?
2001.
No, that's 2001? Oh.
This is the one they use every year, right? When they go out to talk with the constituents, they hand it out. Government by the people, a form of government in which the supreme power is vested in the people and exercised directly by them. Ready for the word? Or by their elected agents under a free electoral system. That is actually an accurate definition. But the key word is or. Now, in Mesa, Arizona, in their charter, which is a city within Maricopa County of 3.4 million people, in their charter, in the first line, it says, all political power is inherent in the people or the city officials of Mesa, Arizona. Now, wait a second. I read you the vision statement for the United States. I read you the U.S. Constitution that connects you to, right, Arizona. Right? Then I read you in their constitutions. And then I read you the president the first day as he's executing his office at the federal level. Okay? Then I told you the story about a woman who could not vote. She could not hold office in Philadelphia. Ladies, can you vote? Can you hold office? Well, she couldn't. But yet Franklin tells her, part of the one people of Pennsylvania, it's a republic if you can keep it. Oh, hold on. How do you do that? I thought it was all about my voting rights. Right? And now we can run for office. Right, ladies? Men? Is it a good thing or a bad thing? Don't answer. Politically bad, bad. Don't do it. Because it might turn into a war on women. But it's not. It's part of your fundamental history of what form of government you were given. Time, tick, 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 tick. You all said you're losing it. So ladies, you got the vote. You got the office. Why are you losing it? I thought it was all about the vote in the office. Well, then which is it? It requires citizens within political subdivisions, about 172 of them here in Virginia, to do what? To exercise something called civic authority. We don't know how to do it. When you tell your school board to sit, does it? How many of you have dogs? When you tell it to sit, does it?
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes.
Listen, this is a fundamental worldview about who's the beast. Alexander Hamilton said that people are a beast. It's the purpose of government, is to control anarchy. The founders added the other half of the equation, and that is government is also a beast. Remember Thomas Hobbes? Leviathan. So now they added part of the equation is that all political power is inherent where? Inherent in. The faith is located where? The intelligence is located where?
Hopefully.
No, it's in the people.
In the people.
Whether it's been dumbed down or not, that's not the point. The people's intelligence in Germany was dumbed down. Right? You send a young jihadi from St. Louis or from Britain, and he runs over to Syria. Now he decides to kill a human being. Where's that located? The stability of a republican form of government depends on the intelligence of the people. Guys, it requires training. It just does. Self-governance is not natural. Centralized governance has thousands of years of history to back it up. Kings and subjects, pharaohs and people, lords and serfs, right?
Yep.
So the founders added to the governance equation something called self-governance. It's not about what you do on your property and I don't hurt you. No, it's the amount of determination and energy you exert to control your school, county, unfortunately regional, state, and federal government from where? Chesterfield County. We have a training program that's designed to teach people how to do that. In most of our minds, conventionally, we've been told we just need to focus on one thing. Now wait a second, let's think about this for a minute. How many bills, Carol, will the GA attempt to pass, appeal, amend, or fail from January to February?
Somewhere between 2,200 and 3,000. 6 weeks.
Wow. But the people of Chesterfield County are required to only focus on how many things?
One person.
One thing. Wait a second. Something's out of balance here. Right? Healthcare. How many of you guys are concerned about healthcare? Education? Immigration? Religion? Defense? Energy? Environment? We keep going? Economics? Education? Right? We're concerned about all of them. Well, then how come you're not allowed to participate in the debate? So you have to force your way into the debate. Wait a minute, something's wrong here. Something's wrong with the equation. Why? Because in your political subdivisions in the state or the Commonwealth of Virginia, something called self-governance is not being manufactured, or enough of it. The scale looks like this. We have plenty of CG, centralized governance, right? Then why doesn't it ever seem to do this? Don't forget, it's a republic if you can keep it. The United States, that includes Idaho. Not just the political subdivision of Chester. That's Chester with 172 political subdivisions connected to what's north of you. Uh-oh. What's connected south of you? Let's not go there. Right? North Carolina. What's connected to the west of you? West Virginia, Tennessee, etc., right? Keep going. You're connected politically. There are bands that connect you. So self-governance in the United States has to be manufactured in a plurality of those political subdivisions. Anyway, I hope I don't know if I've done a good job or not, but my goal was to convince you that training is what's needed for the one people of Virginia. To do what? Manufacture something called self-governance, to control your school, city, or county, something in your constitution called, I don't know what the hell it is, regional government, state government, the GA, excuse my language, and federal government from Chester County. This is not an easy task, but then again, you tell me what's easy. Well, I suppose it's easy. I can't have any anymore. You know, bummer. All right, so I'm going to conclude by saying this. It's a republic if you can keep it. Believe me, you must. This requires the manufacture of something called self-governance. Center for Self-Governance was designed back in 2011 because we wanted Tennessee to be an oasis, not if, but when they attempt to collapse the Republican form of government. The goal failed. Why? Because we told students, please, this is Tennessee only. Now we have requests from 40 states. We just hit our 18th state this month. I haven't been home since July 7th of last year. We teach every day. I thought I had a day off. I was supposed to travel to Houston today, but I was wrong, my calendar. I leave tomorrow. So somehow we ended up with all this stuff. And I know you guys are exhausted. I'm exhausted. But we now have 11 states with well over 20 what we call KTR teams, Keep the Republic teams, operating in their political subdivisions. We'll have a webinar on Thursday just for those teams to help each other develop what? A safe playground for who? Not chess pieces. The chess players, Mrs. Powell. It's her republic for her to keep. It doesn't belong to Barack Obama. It's not Joe Biden's, or Romney's, or Cruz's, or McAuliffe's, well, or McDonald's. Is it McDonald? It's not your county commissioners, it's not your school board members, it's your republic, if you can keep it.